Hi there, I'm Ben and welcome to part 3 of my full platinum walkthrough for A Plague Tale Requiem. As always, we are leaving off, or picking up should I say, exactly where we left off, so we're right at the very start of chapter 3. So that's obviously the screen there in between the two, but then we have the cutscene, which I'm going to skip, and then we are going to carry straight on with chapter 3. No trophy to watch out for in this one, we will just be getting the one trophy for finishing this chapter. We will be concentrating on skills again because there are some encounters. There are 2 souvenirs and there is 1 flower. But what we will start getting from now on are pieces, which are used to upgrade our sling, our crossbow when we get that later on, our pouch and things like that. So we're going to concentrate on a certain tree for that to start off with, and then we're going to go try and get the crossbow done as well quite early. We don't have it yet. We'll get that done. I think it's chapter 5 or 6 when we get that. So we'll get that done quite early. Otherwise, you'll have to play up to at least chapter 5 or 6 in New Game Plus because you can't upgrade the crossbow if you don't have it. Anyway, yeah, so we're just walking down here. There's nothing to see at this point. We're just going to carry on to the butcher's district. So that's what we're doing down here. We're going back to the marketplace once again down here. Thankfully, Hugo is ill in bed. So he's not around. It's just us and Lucas. It's Amicia and Lucas. So we'll be moving a bit quicker through this, and it's quite action based. This one we're really getting into things a bit more now. As action based as this game really is, it's not high action, is it? But it's just enough. So yeah, another little cutscene there as you open that gate up, so I'm just going to skip that. And now we're in the Butcher's District. I'm going to go and we are going to go and get our first set of pieces. So I'm going to be marking in the top corner, so there you can see it says plus 5 pieces. It'll come up like that when we find a random pouch of pieces, which we will find down here. So go to the bottom and turn left, and you'll find a random pouch there like that. You'll get 5 pieces. Thankfully, it's just pieces that upgrades everything, as opposed to in the first one you had to get different things like string and stuff like that for different thing upgrades. It's just pieces. Now there are also 2 types of chest we'll be getting from now on. You'll have the small chest, which is just the crafting materials. I'm not going to mark those because you may or may not pick them up. But we will be getting a medium chest, which I'm calling pieces chest, because they always have 5 pieces in them. And then we'll also be getting tool chests from now on, which will have a tool in and 10 pieces. So tools are needed to upgrade. So you can't do an upgrade if you don't have a tool, but you need tool and pieces. So I know I said you only use one thing, but a tool is needed for upgrades. But the path we're going to go down on the upgrades to start with means that we don't need a tool at all, and we can upgrade at any time because we do currently need a bench to upgrade. So it's going to free us up some pieces as well, because we're going to be able to cash in tools if we don't use them. It'll all make sense when we get there. Right, this is gross. Yeah, I think it's actually quite funny if you're not in the situation. Obviously, it's horrendous if you're in the situation. But this is all intestines and offal and all sorts of nastiness rotting down here from the butchers. This can't exactly be sanitary. Surely they didn't do it like this. I mean, they must have done. I don't know. But the fact that Lucas slides down and gets some in his mouth, I'd be throwing up for months if that was the case. Wouldn't you die? Surely you'd die. There'd be all sorts of diseases in here. Anyway. Yeah, climb through here, and then we're going to get into our first pieces chest. Pot there, and then slide through. So here are the 2 different ones. This is the normal small one we get. This just has items in for crafting, and then this is what a medium chest looks like, and they always have 5 pieces in like that. That's all I can pick up out of this one for now, so I'll craft a couple of things here and be able to pick up the rest. Ignifer, and then we'll carry on. Some rats now. I did say it's a bit more action packed, didn't I? Not much has happened yet. So don't try and light this fire straight away. Just let the dust settle a little bit, but don't leave it too long because the rats are... You're in the dark, so yeah. Because you'll find out why in a minute, because that fire was actually put out by something specific, saltpeter. So if you do it too quickly, you'll just waste one. Not that you know, you've got plenty. Like this fire over here, and then you have to use a jar. Throw it in the middle here to get across. And then hop the fence. So here we're going to get this carcass down, and then we're going to hit this bag of, it looks like flour, but it's saltpeter. So if you hit that, you'll see quite a few of those from now on. They extinguish flames like that. What they also do is stun enemies as well. So yeah, you don't, sometimes you lock on, especially if there's an enemy about, you'll accidentally lock onto the bag of saltpeter. Yeah, just be careful because you'll want to save them for specific enemies. Enemies with shields, you'll want to stun those with those bags. We'll be doing that later as well. Just going to go quickly grab this pot. And now we need to extinguish the flame, so we'll hit the top of this pile and then get the animal down. And then this one here, and you'll see how close you can actually get to the rats while they're eating. They don't bother you at all. Obviously don't hang around though. Okay, up here we have another pieces chest, so a medium one. Just pieces. Was that really the best name? I don't know. What else could you scrap? I suppose it's been used too often, hasn't it? And in here in the pig's head there's actually a knife, so if you don't have a knife, pick that up. We'll be starting to scrap knives soon as well. So there you can see I've actually got alchemy knowledge. Let's drop down. I will show you this in a moment after this encounter. So when you drop down, this guard is going to challenge you on why you're here, and then he's just going to randomly just start throwing spears at you. So don't lock onto him with fire. You want to use a rock and aim for his head. He's going to miss you with the first one. I don't know whether he hits you with the second, but don't hang around to find out. And that's going to be the first army of Provence guy down. Right, so we've got opportunism done. So because we went through that area and we were using, we were putting fire out and things like that, it did actually bump up our opportunism a little bit, and it's put us over the top now. So what we've just got is the ability to, hopefully you got it as well. You should have done, I don't know why you wouldn't if you followed exactly what I'm doing. The ability to craft quicker, which does come in pretty handy. And we want to follow that line across because it does have some good upgrades that you want to get early. So that's why we're mainly on opportunism at this moment. Taking the opportunity to upgrade our opportunism. No. Anyway, so what we're going to get here is saltpeter. This is going to be extinguished. We can now craft. So things get a little bit more complicated when you're trying to change ammo. So extinguish, I'm sure you can guess, puts out fires. So this is where things become quite interesting with combat now. We can light fires, we can extinguish them, so we can get the rats to do the dirty work for us. Now this is what I thought when we do opportunism. What it sort of meant is that you put fires out, let the rats kill the enemies, and that's kind of what it means, right? But no, it's definitely some sort of percentage thing. Leave half the enemies alive. So I'm just waiting until he walks over to this door before I do it, just so the rats are out of the way of the path. And then this one up here, you can actually get him to see you. That's not a bad thing, because we're going to use a bag of saltpeter here, because he's up in light, so always be aware of that as well. Yes, he might have a torch like he does now, but he is stood next to a torch, so it's effectively going to do nothing. And if you do that, they won't pick up another torch and carry on. and they won't try and walk through rats. They'll be stuck essentially, and sometimes you'll have to get past them, and if he has a helmet on like this guy, it can be a bit of a pain. So get him to see you, and once he walks close to you here, use that bag of saltpeter to extinguish. You can just do his torch the normal way if you want, but it's a free one there. And then in here, this is a medium chest, obviously a pieces chest. You're going to find a stack, a handful of pieces. And now we're going to use this torch to get into this corner, because there are actually some pieces underneath those rats. So you have to be fairly quick here doing this, and then push back out towards a source of light, so you don't want to get trapped in with the rat. So go in quickly, just grab the pieces and then turn around and leave, because when your stick goes out, there are still rats around and it'll be pitch black down there, so quickly run for the light again. It is tempting as well, whenever you walk past a bunch of rats that's just eating a soldier, to go and get the item that they've dropped. I don't, but if you want to try it, you can do. So I'm going to light this bonfire in the middle here. This bit's actually quite straightforward. It's all scripted, really. And then up here, this is the large chest. This is a tool chest, I'm calling these. So in here will be 10 pieces and a tool.
A tool? I could improve my gear if I found a workbench.
We will use the tool shortly to upgrade.
Nah, I already gave the beast full power over the city.
So as with Ignifer, we can also use it in the pot, and it does a lot of extinguishing.
A cloud of extinguish will put out several torches. A jar of extinguish? That could work.
What are you doing?
It's quite good that with the game it actually puts the enemies in yellow if they are counted in the area of effect, which is quite handy actually, especially when you're in a hurry later on, when we get, some pretty intense combat situations, not necessarily on easy, but on the harder difficulty, New Game Plus. Yeah, it helps you actually check whether you're going to kill the enemy or not. Yeah, always give him a wide berth, even though I think you're fine.
I hope Hugo's holding on.
I hate to say it, but he survived worse.
This has to stop.
And this is a timed thing now, so we're going to wind it down, hold triangle to wind it down.
What?
There's no brake on this thing, so we'll have to run.
And then you'll want to sort of aim yourself. You can stop, you let go of triangle at this point, and then you aim yourself and just run. So press circle to release the crank and just run for it. You've got quite a bit of time, really. Don't run into the rats as well. No, we're outside.
Yes.
So no enemies here now.
Good work.
There are a few bits to collect and our first tool bench as well.
Look.
So we're doing our first upgrade. So I'm just going to have a look here as well. A little bit, I think we got a little bit of opportunism there from that,
Soldiers either.
because there was an encounter. I'll always bring it up after we've dealt with some enemies. I'll bring it up so you can sort of see where we're up to, or where I'm up to.
There was a fresco with an island on it. I saw it, Lucas. What about that? Vodow must know about it.
All
Come on,
right.
let me run.
I'll try to ask.
Thank you. Now, Mother said the herbalist lives at the edge of a forest.
There we go.
We should be close.
Right, so run towards this village and then cut through the fence on the right here
There were people here not too long ago.
and look for the pile of wood
No sign of a fight.
Where are
and
they?
some pieces
Take
here.
advantage of this for now.
And then we're going to walk over to this fenced off area and use the slingshot or just the sling, to break open the
What's
gate
in there?
and go inside and get souvenir number 3, which is a grave. Again, not really much of a souvenir, but there you go.
They wanted to keep their dead close.
It is what it is.
Understand that. We never buried Father.
And then she's remembering that she never buried her father.
You're right. Let's get back to it.
So that's number 3. Right, so let's do some upgrading.
Someone used that forge recently.
Right, so you can see there's the tool bench in front, but if you just cut to the left here, there's a pieces chest, just to make sure you've got as many pieces as you can for your upgrade. We do have the tool already, so if you have a tool, then you can come over to this bench and use it. So you can do sling, alchemy, gear, and instruments. So what we're going to do is instruments first, because I'm going to get the recycling tool, and then also you get the traveler's tool, and then the ability that you don't need a tool at all. So I'm going to mainly go along this bottom one to start with, because it's going to maximize our pieces, really. The other ones are, they're pretty good. We will do them as well. Obviously, you need to do all of them. So this first one is going to allow us to get pieces for things we don't pick up now, which is going to help. It's quite a lot. So because there's actually a knife here, but I can't pick it up. I've already got one. So if we recycle it, then we get 2 pieces. Same goes with jars and pyrite, which we don't have yet, but we'll get that later on. So whenever you come up to a knife or a jar and you can't pick it up, then you're going to get pieces for it now, which is quite handy. And then the next upgrade along from that means that you don't need workbenches anymore to upgrade. You can just do it on the fly, which is handy, obviously. And then the one after that means that you don't need tools to upgrade at all. You can just, on the fly with pieces, upgrade whenever you want. And you'll also get pieces for tools in the same way that we do now with knives and pots and things, which is going to, again, maximize our pieces. Right, because we're on easy. Combat's not really a massive problem, so we don't need to maximize our pouches and things like that. We'll obviously do that as well, but I do think the upgrade path is better for now. So you don't have to worry about it in New Game Plus so much. You can just concentrate on getting through it, get through the encounters. So I'm going to jump through this window, and then I've switched to sling there, rock, because I knew that guy was going to see us. He always does. There we go, recycle the pot. You only get 1 piece per pot, but there are, there's quite a few in the game. So they do count up. What's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, we need a stick, because there's rats outside. We're just going to hit 2 specific buildings in this encounter and kill about half. I do get the half the amount that I kill. So we do get opportunism with this one. So we killed that first guy and hide behind this cow. And we're going to extinguish this guy's flame, literally. And figuratively, I suppose. He's going to die. The other 2 will see it. The one with the spear on the right, you don't need to worry about him walking towards it. You don't need an extinguisher for him, because you can just hit him on the head. Just going to wait till he gets a bit closer. He almost sees us. It's not a problem. And then we're going to save a stone for this one. Now, take those down so the path is clear down to the church now. There are some sticks here around to the side. It's kind of clear for me, so I'm just going to run for it. But if it's not for you, just use a stick. I probably shouldn't have done this because the rats on the right are following me. I don't get what's in that chest now. It's fine. It's just a small chest. But if you do use fire, grab the stuff out of the chest as well. And we'll go in the church. Go down to the right. And there's a pieces chest. So just so I maximise what I can grab. And we'll actually go out the other window here, because we want to go over to the left. There's a pot there. Just spotted it. I'm going to make a run for it in a moment. This shouldn't work, really. Because the angle is well off. You would not be able to hit that, but never mind. So it's quite clear here. If you use this path, there aren't any enemies. Just check behind you as well, make sure there aren't any. And then if you cut to the right, there's going to be some guys coming up. So light this from here, just in case you need it. Well, you will need it now. But there's going to be some guys. They do have the herbalist with them. You might be able to save him. I'm not sure. Actually, you can't because you'd kill... No, you wouldn't kill him. You'd kill him with the rats as well. But jump over the side here and grab this tool chest. That's what we're here for. So he's going to die now, unfortunately, the herbalist. She says she had no choice, which does lead me to believe that there is no way of saving him. And we're just going to extinguish. We're going to wait till he comes a bit towards me here. Just on the edge of the fire. Just so the other guy doesn't hear it. That was pretty close with regards to this torch in front of me. But yeah, the other guy didn't hear it. I have no idea how. But that means that we don't have to kill him. That means our percentage is still pretty good. If you do have to kill him, don't worry. You may or may not get opportunism. Yeah, I'm just making sure he's not turning around. We're good. So these gates are supposed to shut. They're not supposed to be open like this. But that must be where they killed the herbalist. I don't know what happened there. You see there's nothing behind it. We're not going through that gate. You're not supposed to. Although technically we could. Now we're going to go round.
Through here.
No, I don't think you can go through the gate anyway. Little hidden loading screen here. Don't know why you need loading screens on a PS5. There are a few in this game though, aren't there? If you've noticed. So I'm going to go across. I got opportunism again. You may get aggression if you had to kill one or two more. But it's honestly, it's not a problem. Just kind of aim for it. That's why we're aiming for opportunism, because you fall on either side if you fail it. But there's no way to accidentally get opportunism, if you know what I mean. You kind of have to actively work towards it.
The florist, the herbalist's wife, they killed her. Oh no.
Unfortunately, that's the herbalist's wife as well. Things have not gotten so well here. But while we're here, we'll grab a flower. So this is flower number 2 out of 5. Chamomile. So you'll need to knock it down. Not an easy one to spot this.
Oh, a nice plant. Very useful.
Yes. Mother used to give us some when we had stomachache. Back when that was one of the worst things that...
So yeah, we're on track still. Haven't missed any. So to move on, we do have to interact. We're looking for Nightshade. So you do have to interact with these 3. So look to these 2 underneath. And then turn around, there's one in the tree.
Hey, we're here now.
And then we can move forward.
No, that's not it. There's nothing here, Lucas.
So now we'll actually go inside.
Let's check the house.
Yes, it has to be there.
Some pieces here on the table.
Joking. It's all junk. This is going nowhere.
Wait.
And you should be able to scrap this pot as well.
How will we even get back? Hands are sweaty.
And then once you walk over to this, we're going to get a cutscene. And yeah, it's quite a long one actually. And then a bit of a combat situation. Lucas is going to run away, and he's completely useless. He gets captured, so we've got to save him. So I'm going to use this path. It is the path of least resistance, really.
Understood. Spread out, men. Be careful.
I'm going to push through here. Probably should... I missed the stairs here and wait for too long. Just go straight up those stairs that I'm going to go up in a moment. Because he turns around now and starts to see me. It's close. But yeah, don't panic if that happens. Just keep crawling through. Until it goes red, you're okay. Just check he's not following. He's fine. And then stick to the left. And we're aiming for that building up there. But there is a pieces chest over here. So keep an eye out on where the soldiers are. This one doesn't have a helmet, so we're going to take care of him. And the one up at the top doesn't either. Probably do the one at the top first, to be honest. Just take them down quickly. It doesn't matter if somebody spots. That's fine. Just be quick so you don't get spotted here. I'm only grabbing the pieces out of here. Oh no, we'll get some saltpeter as well, I think. But yeah, the rest I'll leave. And then we want to climb up this wall here. You could probably do it here. I think it might keep you invisible because we're going straight into other bushes, but I'm not chancing it. So I'm going to have to just wait for this guy to clear out. And again, I'm aiming to kill roughly half of them. There is one more. He's going to come towards me here. He does not have a helmet on. So we're just going to take him. Gets him out of the way as well. And then we're free to get to the door that we need to do. Get to, should I say.
Hang in there, Lucas. I'm here. I'll make them pay.
If you want to try and keep your 50%, say this guy sees you now and starts running towards you, chuck some saltpeter or a stone at him. That will stun him. It means you don't necessarily have to kill him. You can just run past and go for the door. But I think he starts turning around now and starts to see me. But hold your nerve if this happens. It's okay. Because if he does spot you, then you won't be able to go through the door. It'll stop your heal. He'll come and grab you. And then we're in a full-on combat situation now. So this is one of these instances where you can't, you can't do it without killing anyone. You can't do it with only killing half. You have to kill everyone. So it's going to be an aggressive situation. It doesn't give you much aggression, but it definitely does give you some. So I'm just going to wander around, recycle. You can go all the way around. There's loads of things. There's pots on the other side as well, I think. Just recycle a few things. But here's what I was talking about. When you want to watch out, make sure you don't hit these bags of saltpeter by accident. There's only 2 guys with shields, so you need at least 2 of these. Otherwise, you're going to have to use a pot and some saltpeter, because you can't just throw saltpeter or extinguish at a guy with a shield. He'll just knock you out of the way and it has no effect. So just keep 2 of these bags. You'll find that you do lock on. So here's the first one. Just wait for him to walk past it and then hit it. It's going to stun him. And then you can go for the headshot. You can't go for the headshot, otherwise he'll just knock it out of the way. And then they mainly come from, well, they only come from the right and the left here. Oh, I don't know what happened to him then. Yeah, it's best to wait for him to drop down, really. I don't know how he died. That went straight through the basket. The flower bed. So just stand here and keep getting them. Like fish in a barrel. I don't know why that saying is a thing. I can't imagine shooting fish in a barrel is very easy. Surely. I don't know, it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? Why fish? Has the barrel got water in it still? Or is it dead fish just in a barrel? I don't know. Why is that a thing? If a barrel's still got water in, there's 1 fish in it. It's not very easy to shoot. Anyway, here's another guy with a shield, so just wait next to here. And once you headshot him, then you're going to get a cutscene. You're going to get grabbed by the throat and you'll be in prison. And then you'll get let out of prison. Well, not really. But that's what we're going to do. So again, it's quite a long cutscene. And we're going to use Lucas's new ability, which is L1 triangle on fire, which will use what's it called, Stupefaccio or something. What the hell was that? Stupefaccio or something like that. I can't read that properly because the screen I have here is in a lower res when I'm recording, so it's easier on the computer while I'm doing it. Yeah, anyway, it sounds like an Italian version of Stupefy. That, basically, it stuns people whenever there's a fire about. So if you've got Lucas, you can now do that. So use L1 triangle. And I'm just going to check here while we're free. So you've got a little bit of aggression there and quite a bit of opportunism from the sort of stealth bit. And then a little bit of aggression from the bit where we were killing everybody. You could probably get away with not really concentrating on it. I know we are concentrating on it, but the reason I'm saying this now is that yes, you could probably get away with not concentrating on the skills at all during the first playthrough, and you can just pick it up what you've left off in the in New Game Plus. But concentrating on it now just gives you a good idea of what you need and how to get them properly. Because in New Game Plus things do change. It is more difficult. You can't tell when enemies see you and things like that, and they see you easier. So being complete stealth or all-out aggression is going to be better. Oops, wrong way. In New Game Plus, trying to balance half is going to be a bit of a pain. So this is a complete stealth bit again, because we don't have our sling at this point. Then you're going to stupefy this guy. You probably don't need to crawl past him, you could just run. And then through the window. And this time it's right.
Hugo is somewhere down there. I hope he's alright.
City's days are numbered.
Yes.
So we are
Let's go back to
very close to the end now. We are just got to get across these walls into the barn, and then yeah, we're done.
pushing forward.
But there's quite a lot to get in the barn, and there's a little bit of a puzzle, kind of a puzzle. The thing, this game does put puzzles in front of you, but then it also tells you how to solve them at the same time. Especially when with the one with the in the previous chapter where we have to spin those symbols round. There was a puzzle there, but they told you the answer. A bit of a strange one. So sneak on through.
We're doing it.
We are.
Okay, we are clear.
It's so close.
We could actually check skills here. I didn't check here. You may actually get the top prudence one a little bit there, because we didn't kill anyone, or you may not get anything with those sort of encounters, because it's a scripted kind of sequence. You're not supposed to get spotted. You're probably not going to get anything.
All right. You look for the nightshade. I'll look for my
So this is the
I need it.
Right. Nightshade.
storeroom.
I hope it's still in my pouch.
So you can see there's a little hint there in the top above where I am now. We do need the sling to do that, but before we do it, I'm just going to grab some pieces here, because we're going to go and upgrade again. So you got some pieces in the corner.
Maybe here?
And then on the right hand side there is secret chest
Knife?
number 1. Now they all look like that.
I've got it.
And there's a knife here as well, thankfully. So that's Amicia's sling, and you also pick up a knife at the same time. And this is what a secret chest looks like. And this is why we need the knives, because once you open it, it breaks the knife. So if you don't have a knife, you can't get in it, and you will use it up. It's not like you keep it. So there's going to be some pieces. It's different for each one. There's usually a tool, pieces, and jar. Or it does sort of change around what's in them. But that's what's in this one. I'm going to go for instruments again, because I'm able to do it, which means we can now upgrade equipment without a bench. So I'm going to keep that one. I'm going to do that one. Upgrade that one. And then I want the last one, and then we'll start doing the others. Sling and things like that.
This should make things a bit easier.
Because combat's not a problem at this point, is it? And then we're going to go over. Now we have the sling. We're just going to use a rock to bring this down. And jump up. So with the souvenirs, the flowers, the feathers, we don't have any feathers yet, but we will soon. you can track them, but with these secret chests, you cannot track them. You need to remember which one you've missed. That makes no sense at all, I know. But if you do accidentally miss one, I don't know how you would because we're kind of playing along here, but if you do, you have to go back to the same save file to get it. You can't go into New Game Plus and get it. You will have to come up to this point in New Game Plus at least. So you couldn't come to this one if you'd missed it in New Game Plus and get it, because it wouldn't count still. So yeah, just try and take a mental note. Make sure you remember definitely getting that secret chest and this one and that one, so you can come back and see which one you missed if you did, but hopefully you didn't. Anyway, there was a souvenir, another souvenir we just got, and then we're going to get the hell out of here. Basically, that's the chapter done. So you need to go over to the door to trigger the next bit. I don't know how he comes up with this plan. So there's soldiers out here. So instead of just using, you know, like a pot of something to distract them, 3 guys, you could probably kill 2 of them. I think, well, did 2 of them have no helmet on? One of them definitely had no helmet on. You could take them down pretty quickly, but no, we come up with this convoluted plan, which includes this ballista and stupefaccio, and firing it through a door that could quite easily blow us both up. So you've got to listen to this bit. It's sort of scripted because we need him to move the next thing out of our way. So his plan is to attach stupefaccio to the front of this ballista and fire it through the barn door, causing a distraction. That's where his mind went. Okay. And we only have 1 shot as well, so if we fail we die, and Hugo dies as well.
There, I found a card. Yes, well done. Let's get that in place.
So yeah, he's going to move that. You have to wait for him to finish talking, and then he'll move it. You can't go and do it yourself, unfortunately. So you're going to jump up. One thing you can do for the secret chests, I'll just mention as well. If you're playing on PS5, if you go to your trophies in the proper trophy menu, it will have the counter there. So now it will say 1 out of 10. If you go into your trophy list and have a look, because it's got the tracker in it now. I'm sure actually on Xbox it probably already has that. They've had that for years, haven't they? So yeah, if you want to keep track, make sure it's definitely counted for yourself, then do that as well. So whenever we do a secret chest, go into your trophies and just check your counter's gone up. So yeah, get him to do the winch there, drop the ballista down, and then we're going to shoot it through the door.
Let's stop here. Wait, the stupefaccio. This is crazy, Lucas. I think we're past that point.
So he's just going to attach it on the front here, and then we're going to crank it up. And as soon as you release, a cutscene kicks in, and the end of the chapter happens. Another cutscene. We'll go back home, and that's it. So that's another one down.
Get ready. I am.
So crank it all the way up, and then when you stop, press stop, and you get the cutscene, and there you go. And we'll get the trophy, A Burden of Blood, at the end of the chapter. Right, that's it for this one. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.